Welcome to Ham Radio Perspectives. I'm Tom, WA9TDD, and my hapless cohort is...
Quinn, K8QS, hapless. Boy, nobody has called me that for a while, you rascal.
Yeah.
Okay, so great topic today, Tom. These are 10 easy ham shack improvements that we're going to run through quickly, and that you can implement most of them quickly, and you will have a better life. Okay, number one ham shack improvement is to use a keyboard and mouse shelf that goes under your desk or under your table, whatever you have your equipment on, so that you're not putting your hands up high all the time like this, trying to operate. And then your shoulders are getting all nasty, and you're getting grouchy because your shoulders are, and your significant other is saying, why are you grouchy today? And you're not even thinking about the fact that it's because your stuff is up there. Get it down below.
Right, and that gives you a good excuse for buying that hot tub you always wanted. Number two is lower your monitors, to avoid head strain and improve readability. I mean, how many times have I seen shacks where some guys looking up like this, trying to log a QSO or operating digital? I mean, that's literally a pain in the neck,
I don't know why they do that. In fact, when I look at some of the QRZ pictures where they've got many different monitors up real high, I'm thinking to myself, this is terrible. And the best level is either directly in front of where you're looking or just above that. So maybe move some equipment over and get the monitor as low as you can, so it's up a little bit. And I wonder too about this, Tom, with people who, like me, who have glasses. I have these progressive lenses.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm going up and down here trying to get the right spot. It's just really goofy.
It's even worse if you've got bifocals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That dates you, dude. Okay, number three, the third easy ham shack improvement is to use high quality metal isolated power strips.
Yeah.
I use the Trip Light to avoid fires. And we did a while back, Tom, a video with our buddy W7UUU, whose shack, which was basically a huge garage, he had burned completely down because he was using cheap little power strips that claim to be isolated and so on, and they just burn up. You want to avoid fires, just like Dave has switched over. So after we did that video with him, as people can see in the video right now that I'm playing, that it's good to go with something better. Otherwise, you can end up in the same situation that Dave did.
Number four is rearrange and locate your room lights, your desk lights, to avoid reflections on your radio screens and your computer screens, and it provides print readability on your desk. In my shack, I have a set of overhead lights, spotlights. I've got 3 of them. I can arrange the lighting in my shack just about perfect, without getting reflections off of the rigs or my computer screen, yet providing good readability when I'm reading a script.
Yeah, we didn't used to think about that, I think, especially until we got into the computer screens and then the screens now that are on rigs. And my shack behind me over here is right by a couple of windows as well. And I've got shades there that I can close even during the day to knock off some of the ambient light that is causing trouble. The easy ham shack improvement number 5 is to place the rigs. You've got your power supplies, your amps or whatever, for maximum airflow. And it's amazing when I see, again, some of these pictures on QRZ, they've got stuff stacked up that I know is blocking the fans that are in the tops or the sides of the units. This is an easy fix to keep your rigs from overheating, and heat especially with modern rigs, is the number one problem that's going to cause you difficulties with the rig breaking down.
All right, and some of the photos I've seen where rigs are set into like a NASA console, where there's absolutely no airflow from the top, bottom, or the sides, and that's going to kill your radio. And that was real prevalent during the ages of vacuum tube equipment. I don't know how they kept the equipment cool. But number 6, and this is probably the most important, is use a chair that's comfortable for sitting up at your rig, sitting back to, and you're just kind of talking and listening.
Or to take a snooze.
Or take a snooze. Yeah, I mean, but if you're going to do that, make sure your box is off.
Yeah. I've been in shacks where there was just a wooden chair, an old wooden chair. And I don't know how they can sit there very long with that. Now, I had that as a kid because I didn't have any money and all, and I suppose my back could take it then, but it couldn't take it now. Okay, number 7 for easy ham shack improvements is to locate the rig controls, the controls of the main units. In other words, the one that you're using frequently, whatever they are, on the desktop within easy reach. Okay, so don't start stacking all those things so you have to start reaching up all the time, or reach over here, reach over there. The ones that you use a lot, get them right up there. I like it so I can even put if this here were the desk, I can put the bottom of my hand on while I diddle around here. So this is so good. Ergonomics, I think they call that, Tom.
Right. All right.
Basic ergonomics.
Ergonomics. Number 8, and I find this particularly handy because maybe I've got a short memory, but they have a pencil and paper readily available, for writing down call signs, names, conversational notes for replies, especially if you're in a roundtable chat where everybody's talking about something and you want to stay in the loop, write down their names, their call signs, even if it's the same group you've been operating with every day for the last 15 years.
You know what the alternative is, Tom?
What's that?
The alternative is this. Jim said something very interesting I wanted to comment on. Jim, I can't remember what you said, but I knew it was important. Let me just think about that for a minute. Well, heck, you tell me next time. We'll see if we can get it in. I mean, I hear that kind of thing all the time, because some people, when you're in these roundtables, they'll throw out 3 or 4 different subjects, and maybe 2 of them you want to comment on, like, hey, what do you think of the University of Michigan basketball team? And I say, I want to comment on that, and my comment is this: I went to the University of Illinois, so when Michigan State plays the University of Michigan, I hope they both lose. That gets them riled up. So I use a Ring notebook, Tom, these cheap Ring notebooks like you used to buy for elementary school or whatever. And I have those right there, and I write notes on, and then I keep those. And I can go back and look at if I made some notes. I talked about this earlier in a video we did where I said I still keep a paper logbook, but that's really a paper notebook in addition to any digital logging for me. Okay, number 9 here are cheap and easy ways of making your ham shack Scooby-Dooby-Doo is to add some sound deadening material on walls so you have a little bit more of a quality audio. Now, first on this, let me say, Tom, that there are people that I regularly listen to, especially on 40 meters, who are using microphones that are probably a foot away from their mouth, and they're back in their chair. And man, that audio is bouncing all over the place. It sounds terrible. Okay. If you're one of these people that's always right up there on the mic all the time, this is not quite as important. But if you like to have a little bit of distance involved there, do something, especially maybe just hanging a little bit of cloth in a space, or if there's a curtain, close the curtain
Right.
if you're on.
Right.
Anything at all. So you don't have to spend a lot on sound deadening material. There's also cheap foam and stuff out there you could buy. If there's a wall right behind you or right in front of you, one in front of you, you probably want to have all your QSL cards or pictures up there or whatever. But whatever you can do, see if you can improve a little bit the quality of the sound, or run that mic close to your voice and keep your gain low.
Wrong. All right. And number 10. And this one's really important, and it shows in that W7UUU video, is to leave enough room behind your equipment so you can gain access to connectors, your power supply lines, your coax lines. In my shack, I have everything on a rack, but I also have it mounted on a system of rollers on the bottom that I can pull it away from the wall about 6-8 inches, and I can easily get at my connectors. Having something jammed right up against the wall, especially if you've got multiple pieces of equipment, it tends to be a nightmare. Number one, untangling the rat's nest of cables and wires you have to gain access to your coax cable or your power supply.
Yeah, I have two shacks, one upstairs here, and then I have one in my workroom where I have all the cables, everything else down there, all the junk that you use when you're working as a ham operator on stuff. And in the one downstairs there, I have a big, long work table, but then shelving underneath it with rigs. And on those, I put the kinds of things that you use in drawers in kitchens.
Right.
So I can pull those out and then reach around and get access. And then the whole 8-foot big table that I have that I work on the top of, I have on rollers. So I can also move that all the way out. But again, that's the area where I'm moving stuff in and out a lot, and where I really want easy access to stuff, because it can get so frustrating when you want to do a simple cable change and you can't get it, or you're stretched over, hunching over, and your back is getting sore. So, gang, this is Ham Radio Perspectives, and we have offered for you 10 easy ham shack improvements. You've probably done some of these already. We hope we've given you some more good ideas based on our years of experience of making mistakes with this stuff. My name is Quinn. I'm K8QS.
And I'm Tom, W89TDD.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell, ding down below, whatever you do with your ding-a-ringer, do it here, and we'll be much grateful. Thank you.